As we talked previously, college provides us with many great opportunities to learn, to prepare ourselves for a good life and a career. But even useful things can produce adverse results. For example, we go to college to expand our knowledge and to strengthen our skills for the future. However, the same environment that hones our ability to succeed also nurtures our feelings of self-importance and pride. In his book, Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis describes pride as cancer, devastating one's capacity for love, for contentment, and even common sense. And like physical cancer, pride left unchecked will destroy the very achievements it appears to create. Now, writing to Christians dispersed throughout the Roman world, James warns that God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. So to experience God's grace, we must confront this tendency for arrogance prevalent in our academia. Now, the best remedy for pride is gratitude. It's virtually impossible to remain self-centered after recognizing that the strengths and the talents for which we hope to be esteemed are merely gifts, gifts that are undeserved and could just as easily have been given to someone else. Speaking of gratitude, English philosopher and theologian G.K. Chesterton argues that it's not enough to acknowledge God's provision for our meals and then forget to express our gratitude for everything else. For things such as going to a concert or a play, the ability to read a book or draw a picture, or just the strength to play a sport or walk. If God deserves gratitude in these simple tasks, how much more thanks should we express for our intellectual accomplishments? In his letter to Christians in Rome, Paul cautions us not to think more highly of ourselves than we should, pointing out that our abilities are just gifts of God's grace. Paul further reminds us that we are part of something bigger, and the fullness of our gifts are not realized unless it's part of this whole. But rather than diminishing who we are, this suggests that by gratefully submitting our physical, intellectual, and social abilities to God's design, we become part of something much greater than anything we could achieve on our own. Let's be clear. Education is not the problem here. In fact, G.K. Chesterton wrote elsewhere that without education, we are in a horrible and deadly danger of taking educated people too seriously. However, we must remain alert to the side effects like pride that can creep into our life. We do this by resolving to give God thanks for everything because he sent Jesus to redeem every area of our life for his glory. I challenge you this week to find ways to express your gratitude to God for every circumstance in your life. For example, each time you walk on campus, thank God for the privilege you have to attend college. And when you have to wake up early to make that 8 a.m. class, praise God for the professor who is coming early to teach the class. Or before you spend time with friends, thank God for putting people around you who make life enjoyable. In short, give thanks before everything. And by cultivating an attitude of gratefulness, we live in God's grace every day and we avoid the destructive consequences that pride can inflict on our lives.